What's up, Giants fans? So the big question this week is what went wrong on defense. We will get into that a lot today. There's some offensive plays as well. We're starting on the defensive side of the ball with Janoris Jenkins here on top of the screen against Amari Cooper, one of the better receivers in the league. Right here, it looks like man coverage on top, and we'll watch how Jenkins plays it. And by the time Jenkins turns around, Cooper makes a nice curl, and the Cowboys pick up 12 yards off that play. Not what you want to see, and it's just, it's a small portion of the terrible defense the Giants played today, but it just adds up after a while. Dak was getting everything he wanted in the passing lanes today, and this is an example why. By the time Janoris Jenkins turned around to sprint, Amari Cooper made the curl. So it's just simple stuff like that. Got to fix that next week against Buffalo. Here we have the Saquon Barkley 59-yard run in the first quarter on the Giants' first drive. And watch out here for Cody Latimer and, of course, Evan Engram, who's going to be in motion on the left side here. Those guys did a great job of blocking, opening. Doesn't matter what running back it is, but when it's Saquon Barkley, he will turn this into a big play every time. And also, Leighton Vander Esch did not take a great route to this either. And, of course, Saquon gets by their safety. And I thought it was a touchdown when it was live, but unfortunately got caught from behind. We don't see that too much with Saquon. So watch Vander Esch here. I mean, if he stood in this hole here, he probably would have had him, but he took the wrong lane, went to the inside. Saquon went outside a bit more, and that created a running lane for him. So, I mean, Evan Engram did a great job. There's, of course, concerns with his blocking skills. We all know he's a great receiver, but if he can block like this and become an all-around great tight end, that's great news for the Giants. This was the Evan Engram touchdown and great play by Pat Shurmur here. And basically, this is a Leighton Vander Esch play again, and we could watch him right here, I believe number 55. He kind of bites on the run, and Evan Engram right here pops out for the passing play, holds a block for a couple seconds, goes out, makes the easy, uncontested catch. I thought it was a very nice play by Pat Shurmur. He had a kind of rough game overall, but his first drive was great, and I love this play in particular. We'll probably see this play more than once this year. So you watch Evan Engram there. It looked like he was blocking for the run, number 88 here on the outside, and it looked like he was blocking for the run. Vander Esch, you could see here, he's kind of fooled, has his eyes in the backfield. Eli Manning is here with the football, eyes on Evan Engram, and just a simple throw. 6 points for the Giants. So I'm not his biggest fan. I do think he's overpaid, but Alec Ogletree here makes a nice play. We've seen Jason Witten do these sit-down routes in the middle of a zone many times against the Giants. This was on I think it was a second down and long or something like that, so it prevented a possible first down. Ogletree number 47 here. So Witten's going to sit down in the zone between Tay Davis and I think it was Grant Haley and Ogletree, and it didn't work because Alec Ogletree had a great reaction to this ball, made a nice play. So you see here, Witten thought he was going to sit down here. He thought Ogletree would still be over here. Ogletree saw it, got over in the passing lane, and eventually deflected the pass. Almost had an interception there, so a nice play by him. But unfortunately, there is a bad play by Ogletree, which we will get into right now. Well, for years, the Giants got beat by Cole Beasley in the slot, but now they have to worry about Randall Cobb, and we'll watch here. Randall Cobb is, I thought he was here. I don't know if this is him. I don't know if that's a 10 or an 18. Let's say that's Randall Cobb right there. Goes over the middle and catches it, and Alec Ogletree should have made this tackle. Unfortunately, did not happen. Tay Davis with a good effort, and Alec Ogletree with a crappy route. He gained about an extra 6 yards on this play. So Tay Davis right here goes for a full-on dive, almost makes the play, but Ogletree's right here in a perfect spot to make a tackle, but for some reason just completely whiffs on it. Kind of did what Curtis Riley did against the Cowboys in Week 17 last year. Can't have that, especially for how much they're paying the guy. I can't say that enough. They do pay Ogletree a lot of money. I forget how much it is off the top of my head, but you can't have that from a linebacker that you're paying a lot of money to. Here we have a long touchdown for Blake Jarwin, the Cowboys' first touchdown of the day. Looked like a zone defense. There was two safeties back, but unfortunately no one had the middle of the field. It was weird how this happened. I kind of blame the coaching staff for this one. I don't think it was a miscommunication. I don't know what happened. You see here right away that Antoine Bethea, I think it is, kind of moves up in this linebacker type area. Not sure if he was supposed to do that. Dak Prescott sees it. And, of course, wide open was Jarwin. So if there's anyone to blame on this play, it's possibly Antoine Bethea, but I'm not positive. So, I mean, I don't want to put that on him. But it was weird how there was no one covering this side of the field. There's got to be someone responsible for the middle of the field. There's no way you can leave it that open. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how much of that is on James Betcher or if that's on Antoine Bethea, but there has to be accountability for plays like that, and they have to fix that as the season goes on. The Giants did a really nice job of getting Evan Engram, their top receiving weapon, involved in this game today. And here's an example of it once again. So Engram's right here, and he's going to basically set a block on this blitzing corner, but then goes right out for a pass, has two offensive linemen out in front of him, gains 19 yards on this play. It was a nice play designed by Pat Shurmur. I like this a lot. They did luck out because the corner was blitzing, but it worked out to perfection. Eli gets it to Engram, and at this point right here, two blockers right out in front. It's probably Zeitler and Remmers, and he was able to pick up 19 yards off of this. And you could see there Zeitler with a great block on Jalen Smith, I believe that is number 54. We'll watch from this angle. Watch Kevin Zeitler on this play. Does a great job of knocking Jalen Smith right on his ass. And Evan Engram right here does a great job. Acts like he's blocking, goes right out for it, fools the Cowboy defense, and oh no, that was Jalapeno. He knocked him on his ass. Number 75, the center. So he's right here. He goes out for blocking on Evan Engram and then just puts Jalen Smith into the ground. So a great play by him and a nice play design by Pat Shurmur. This was only like a 4 or 5 yard run, but it just proves how great Saquon Barkley is. So watch what happens here. A Cowboy defender gets right in the backfield. I forget where he was exactly. We'll see on the replay. I think it was an interior lineman. I think right here on number 76 it was. So Nate Solder giving up some penetration there. So Barkley does one spin move, does another spin move, and it takes 2 or 3 Cowboys to get him. I mean, he is terrific. Does 2 spin moves, and, you know, most running backs probably would have been down right away, at least not if that tackle, but at least this one. But Saquon turns it into a positive play. He is by far the best running back in the league, in my opinion. You don't see people doing this. There are running backs that are in great systems that have great blocking. Saquon has better blocking, but for moments like this where he just makes corners look silly, he is the best running back in football. So there's some positives and some negatives here. So the positives are that the Giants offensive line picked up everybody correctly. The bad news is that DeMarcus Lawrence got in the backfield on John Jalapeno. So we're going to watch here, I believe, 2 linebackers or 1 corner and 1 linebacker blitz for the Cowboys. We'll see who it is exactly. So it's going to be number 55, Van Der Esch here, and I think Sean Lee actually, so 2 linebackers, comes on the outside to blitz, and we'll watch the communication here. So Remmers picks up Sean Lee, and then Zeitler is going to pick up Van Der Esch, and Jalapeno is on DeMarcus Lawrence, but unfortunately just was not good enough. He got by him. Eli threw this duck and almost got intercepted. Of course, his arm got hit as he threw, so I can't blame him for that. But this could have been a big play if the blocking held up. I think the Giants' offensive line did a nice job picking up the right guy. We've seen it in years past, especially in Dallas, with all the stunts they run, that guys would just have a free lane to the quarterback. That did not happen that time, so at least they fixed that. But John Jalapeno has to do a better job of blocking if the Giants are going to do better in the passing game this year. So this is a 3rd and 1. There's some mixed reactions to this play because some people believe he wasn't open and it could have been intercepted. But Eli Manning here on the rollout, at one point on this play, had the tight end Eric Tomlinson open. You would say about right here. You see Eli looking in this direction. He has Tomlinson here, and I believe a teammate right here. So Tomlinson, there was a lane to throw to him. There's a window right here. I mean, I don't think this would have been intercepted. We'll see from the other angle. Eli just, I don't know what happened on this play. I guess he tried to throw it out of bounds. This might have been the intentional grounding call on him. We'll see from this angle right here. So I would say about right about like here, you have to at least take a shot. I mean, like, it could have been deflected here, but I mean, there's enough of a window at this point to make this throw. I think they should have taken the shot, but unfortunately it ends up in a 3rd and 1 that is an intentional grounding. So it is what it is. But some people, especially on Twitter, were wishing that Eli took this shot. I can see why. It's not even a shot. It's just a simple throw. But, you know, he didn't want to take the chance. This is how Eli has become over-conservative in his later years, and it is what it is. So that's an opportunity they missed on 3rd and 1. So this was a big gain on the left side for Michael Gallup of 36 yards. There's going to be pressure by Lorenzo Carter on this play. I believe there's a corner blitz right to Carter's right as well, so we'll see that in this angle, hopefully. But DeAndre Baker, I mean, it's hard to say he was beat on this play. I mean, I don't want to give him too much credit, but Dak Prescott made a very, very accurate throw here. He put it in a perfect spot. So you see here, Bethea comes up to blitz at the last second, so believe the left tackle is going to go for Bethea, and Lorenzo Carter has a pretty clear shot. Yep, you can see there's a pretty clear shot at Dak Prescott, but he makes a perfect throw to Gallup, and it's hard to say he was beat. We'll watch from this angle. Watch the top of the screen here, I believe it is, from Michael Gallup against DeAndre Baker in his first game. I mean, it wasn't bad coverage. It was just a perfect throw. So, I mean, you got to kind of tip your cap to the opposing quarterback on a play like that. He made the perfect throw. It is what it is. The man's a rookie, and, you know, I like the play design. I like how they sent an extra blitzer on that play. It almost worked. It took a perfect throw to make that happen, though. There was bad tackling all over the place in this game, and here's an example of Antonio Hamilton right here. I believe is right here on top of the screen against Michael Gallup. Runs a slant route, Antoine Bethea, Dak makes a throw right between Bethea and Antonio Hamilton, and he picks up extra yardage on this play, picks up like an extra 10 or 12 yards because of the poor tackling. I mean, he should have been down like right about here. You can see he has his arms on him, couldn't bring him down. We'll see from this angle exactly. It'll be on the left side, of course, and I mean, this shouldn't have been a 12-yard gain after the catches. He should have been down before the 30-yard line, but he ends up like after the where'd he end up at, like the 15 or so? I mean, that should not happen. He should have been down at the 30, or I could say 31, 32. He ends up all the way at the 18-yard line, so you can't have that stuff. He gained an extra 14 yards, basically, based off of poor tackling. You can't have that if you're Antonio Hamilton. He did not have a good game tackling today. Out of all the bad tackling in this game, this was probably my least favorite. So Antonio Hamilton, once again, I think he's right here, number 30. This is against Randall Cobb. This is a 3rd and 10, mind you. So the Giants are trying to hold them to a field goal at this point. They had them short of the sticks, and we'll watch what happens right here. So Randall Cobb catches the ball, right? The first down marker's at the 8-yard line. He's about at the 12-yard line. Antonio Hamilton's right here. All he has to do is tackle Randall Cobb short of the sticks, and you hold the Cowboys to 3 points. Well, look what happens. Stiff arm, bad tackling technique, picks up the first down, nearly scores off of that. And we'll see from this angle. You watch his tackling technique. He did not even go for his legs. He literally just went, like he's going for like his shoulders. I don't know if he's going for the ball or something. I don't know. It was terrible technique. Randall Cobb says, "Get off me," and picks up a first down, which should have been a 4th down after that. Unfortunately, it was a first down for the Cowboys, and of course they went on to score 7 points after that. This was the Jason Witten touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown or 5-yard touchdown, and you could see our veteran safety, Michael Thomas, gets beat on this play. You could see it from the other angle very clearly of what happens here. So this is a play action here to Ezekiel Elliott. You have to respect that. He's one of the best backs in the league. And I believe Thomas is right here, so let's watch him on the start of the play. He's responsible for Jason Witten on this play, who is right here. Witten looks like he's just blocking, but of course it ends up being a play action and a rollout by Dak Prescott. And you can see Michael Thomas got too greedy going in the backfield, left Jason Witten unaccounted for, wide open. I mean, he had about 2 steps on him. He could have held him right there, but they would have had the ball at like the 2-yard line or 1-yard line, so there's no point. And then Dak Prescott with an easy throw to Jason Witten. So if you're Michael Thomas, you can't be doing that. You've been in the league long enough, all that kind of crap. And Jason Witten, being the crafty veteran that he is, made that play happen, and a good job by him. But the Giants on defense have to be smarter than that. So many Giants fans were complaining about Eli Manning and his checkdowns, and believe me guys, if you know me, you know I love blaming Eli Manning. I have no problem doing it. I'm not one of the Eli apologist people that can't put any blame on him. When I feel he's should be held accountable, I make that happen. But in this particular case, the Cowboys defense, they just want you to throw it short, and that's exactly what happened here. I mean, he had time to throw here. I believe the Cowboys, let's see how many people they sent on this play. So they have a fake blitz here. He didn't go. It's only a 4-man rush, and the offensive line does a good job here, but where was he supposed to go with this ball? The only open options are here and here. There is nothing here, there's nothing here, there's nothing here. I don't know what Eli Manning was supposed to do exactly. You can argue that maybe he could have had a play here, but it's not a safe throw. This isn't a safe throw either. So, I mean, the Cowboys defense did everything right on a 3rd and 12. They made Eli want to check it down, and that's exactly what happened. They give it to Red Ellison. Gives it a good effort, picks up like 8 yards on it, but I mean, you can't complain about Eli Manning on this play, and I complained a lot about him last year because in the game in Dallas last year, there were opportunities for big plays to happen. He just wasn't taking the shots. I think Eli played all right this week, and this is a perfect example of why you can't complain about him checking down. This defense did not want any big plays to happen, especially on this 3rd and 12, and that's exactly how they played it, so credit to the Cowboys defense for that. Here's an example of the Cowboys getting 18 yards on a very simple play here. I mean, it's a pretty smart play. They're going to send Randall Cobb in motion. He goes up here. They swing a pass out to him, have these two receivers block. We've seen this play before. I think Pat Shurmur has run this play as well. And Antonio Hamilton has to do a better job of tackling here once again. Randall Cobb picked up like an extra 10 yards just having Antonio Hamilton on his side. He has him like right here, I would say about like the, where are we at? The 30... This is hard to tell. All right, the 31, 32-yard line, and he's not down until like the 41. So, I mean, you have to make that tackle earlier. I didn't like anything I saw from Antonio Hamilton today. Even Janoris Jenkins, I mean, you have to give a better effort here. I understand you're being blocked, but he showed like no, it seemed like he just was okay with being blocked. There was no urgency of him to get out of this block and make a play. I understand Janoris Jenkins isn't the best tackler. He's a better one-on-one cover, but still, I mean, there has to be better effort from the Giants on this play. Once again, poor tackling, and it's just a simple play that frustrates you as a fan that should not have gone for 18 yards. I understand if it goes for like maybe 8 to 10 yards, but 18 yards is too much on a play like that. So as we know, the Giants did not have a sack in this game. I don't believe so, at least. And they were very close here. They probably should have had one. So the Giants are going to send the linebackers Alec Ogletree and rookie Ryan Conley on blitzes here. And basically the center, Travis Frederick, has to block both of them. Of course, he can only block one of them. I don't care how good he is. And you could see that Ryan Conley has a clear lane to the quarterback until Zeke Elliott chips him at the last second. And unfortunately, Ryan Conley was knocked off his feet. He kind of wrapped Dak's leg for a second, but Dak steps out of it. Lorenzo Carter makes a great play downfield, but he did not turn his head, but he still knocked the ball away. But you wish that Ryan Conley was able to stay on his feet and make this play. He tried to wrap his arms around Dak's legs right here. Dak being he's pretty elusive, I'll give him that, steps out of it and makes a throw, but Lorenzo Carter was downfield. He's kind of just waving his big arms and, fortunately got the ball, so a good play by him. But this is a play where, good teams would have made this play probably. I feel like Ryan Conley probably should have made this play, honestly. I understand Zeke chipped him with, like, his forearm, but you wish he got this play. I mean, the Giants don't have a pass rush as it is, so when you're this close to having a sack, you got to make sure you get it when you play on a team like this. So this play was just annoying by Tay Davis. It's a 2nd and 20 for Dallas. They're in their own territory still. You can't have a defensive holding on this play. He's right here. He has to guard the tight end, and he gets beat and it doesn't even get beat. I don't know why he held him. It makes no sense to me. So, the Giants tackle him here. It would have been like a 3rd and 15 after this, but instead it's a 1st down now because of the defensive holding call. So watch Tay Davis here blocking what number is this? I guess it's Blake Jarwin. I have no idea. Number 89. And, he's right here, and I guess he cuts inside. Maybe he wasn't expecting it and kind of gets tangled up there, holds on to him. It's an easy call for a ref. They have to throw the flag on that. But this should have been a 3rd and 15. It turns into a 1st and 10 because of the dumb defensive holding. It's stupid stuff like that loses you a football game, and sometimes it's not about talent. It's about mental mistakes, and that's a perfect example of it right there. A tough task here for the rookie in his first game, DeAndre Baker covering Amari Cooper on top of the screen here. They have one deep safety, obviously, but the rest of it's man coverage, and the safety cannot get over in time. So basically, he's on an island by himself up here, and unfortunately, he just gets beat. I mean, Amari Cooper with a good release gets by him, and it was a great pass by Dak Prescott. Got to give him credit once again. Did not get his head turned around in time, and there's a touchdown right there. So it's just stuff like that. I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on Baker. It's his first game. Amari Cooper's a great receiver. Those kind of things happen. It was a good throw, and it is what it is. I mean, hopefully this is a good learning experience for him. Not really much of a pass rush from what I saw. We'll see how many people the Giants sent on this play. It looked like they sent a decent amount. They did send the linebacker, but right here, the running back or fullback, whatever he is, picked him up, so nothing to worry about there. Dak has a clean pocket. And unfortunately, DeAndre Baker is a step behind, and it was a good throw and shy to Cooper, and 6 points for Dallas. Once again, some great blocking here by not just the offensive line, but a receiver as well. This time it's Sterling Shepard. We know he's a good blocker. Watch what he does right here. He comes in, creates a lane for Saquon Barkley. I forget who he blocks exactly, but nice job of getting the seal there, and Saquon Barkley picks up 11 yards. Almost scored on this play if he got past one more guy, but it is what it is. This is a nice hole for any running back right here, and a nice job by Sterling Shepard on the block. Offensive line all did a great job. You see Zeitler here, Rembers out here. They all did a great job. And Saquon Barkley picked up 11 yards. Obviously, I wish Barkley got more carries, and he did a great job running the ball, but they have to do it more next week. Here we have the 35-year-old safety, Antoine Bethea, getting beat by Amari Cooper, who I believe is in the slot right here. And he did kind of a double move in a way. He kind of stopped halfway into his route. Looked like Bethea was about to blitz. And then you could see right about here, he kind of hesitated in a way. And he just kind of locked Bethea's feet up and just bursted deep. And yeah, he had about 4 yards on him. Dak makes to throw a big gain for the Cowboys, and it's just not a fair matchup. I mean, Amari Cooper has 10 years on this guy, and he's obviously more talented, and unfortunately was not able to cover him downfield. Gets him on this little double move thing and has him beat by 3 or 4 yards, and nice ball placement by Dak once again. So it's just, it's just an unfair matchup. It is what it is, and he makes a nice move there and just beats him deep. And a throw in stride could have led him to a touchdown, but it was a bit underthrown, but still a big gain for the Cowboys. Another very frustrating play here. So the Giants playing a zone defense, 2 safeties back, and not one of them is covering the middle of the field. There's not much to say here. I believe this is Randall Cobb who scores on this play. Just runs a seam up the middle. No one is guarding him. Easy touchdown for the Cowboys. I mean, one of these safeties has to be accountable for the middle of the field. I don't know what the play call is exactly, so I mean it's hard for me to tell, but one of them has to get the middle of the field. There's no way the play design was to have the middle of the field completely open. It was open all game. It was ridiculous how many times the middle of the field was just unguarded, and I don't know who to blame for this play, but because you look at it here, I mean Antoine Bethea has to go over here because this receiver, I mean, this is zone defense, so what's his name? Antonio Hamilton's accountable for this area, but then he has to pass him off to Bethea in this area. So, I mean, he has to guard there. Jabril Peppers has to be up here. So, I mean, I don't know if one of the linebackers was supposed to drop back more. I have no idea, honestly, but it just sucks to see this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know how much of it is on the coaching staff. It could be a lot of it. Who knows? We see Ogletree trailing there, but it just sucks to see that kind of stuff. It's just miscommunications or bad play calling, one or the other, and they have to fix that stuff as the season goes on. So as I said before, I don't blame this loss on Eli Manning at all. I don't think he played that bad, but this is a play where I could put some blame on him here. So this is a wheel route by Saquon Barkley, obviously right here next to Eli, and I think Eli should have let this route develop more. This is the play where Saquon basically got hit in the ass by the ball, and I think he should have waited a little bit. There was time to make a throw here. You look at the pocket. I mean, there's really nothing. There's no pressure. I think the Cowboys only sent 4 people on this play. The offensive line has everybody accounted for. And if Eli just waited a little bit and let this route develop and let Barkley get up the field more, he could have had a deep ball, hit Barkley in stride, and the Giants could have scored 6 points. The safety was still over here. He was still towards the middle of the field. So, I mean, I think this play could have been a big one if Eli waited a little bit longer. We'll see how the line held up exactly from this angle, but it looked all right to me. So we'll see. They sent 4 people. This was a good enough pocket. He could have bought an extra second or second and a half on this play to let Barkley get downfield more. I don't know why he threw the ball so early, and I like this matchup. I mean, Barkley could have beat him deep. I think this is still a cornerback, but he still could have beat him deep. The Giants could have had a big play on this one, so I think Eli has to have more patience on a play like that. It's pretty sad because Texans fans and Chiefs fans and even Ravens fans get this every week, but here's Eli Manning being elusive and avoiding a tackler. I mean, we see Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson do this every game basically, but to see Eli Manning do this was it's pretty rare. So he breaks a tackle on this play, given a lot of time to throw, spins out of it, stays on his feet, finds an open Latimer downfield. It was an awesome play. Kind of had Super Bowl 42 flashbacks with the Tyree catch. He did not catch it on his helmet, but it still was pretty cool. So Nate Solder, I don't know what the hell was going on there. I think Nate Solder thought he threw the ball there. I don't know. He was he's looking down here, and meanwhile his guy is basically not being looked at. I mean, he kind of just made a bad play there, and by the time he turns around, he's like, oh shit, he's already by me. So Eli Manning sees it, spins out of it, kind of like Aaron Rodgers with the spin move right there, throws it deep and has Latimer downfield. Nice job hanging on to the ball. So it was cool to see that, but on the flip side, we do have quarterbacks that do plays like this every week, but as Giant fans, we do not see it too often, so I had to include this. So here's the situation. You guys can see it, obviously. It's a 4th and 1. The Giants have to convert on this play. It's 28-10 Cowboys. You pretty much need a touchdown, or it would be nice to have a touchdown. You don't need one, but it'd be very nice to have a touchdown. And there was an opportunity to make a throw here. This was the fumble play, I believe, with Eli Manning. And he had a shot at Sterling Shepard here. But my argument is that, hey, it's 4th down. Make the throw right here. I mean, try to hit him in stride. Hopefully he can make a sliding catch and the Giants score 6 points. I don't know if he would get in the end zone or not, but even if he's down at the 1, who cares? You convert. The worst that could happen here is you throw an interception and the Cowboys get a touchback. I mean, who cares? You know what I mean? It just, there was no downside of throwing this ball, and it pissed me off very much that he didn't even want to take the chance. And the thing that annoyed me even more was that Sterling Shepard, before Eli was even sacked, Sterling Shepard was lit up on this play, and there was no call by the refs. I mean, you see him knocked down there like he caught the ball, but meanwhile Eli still has the ball. I don't know what the hell was going on there, why the refs didn't call anything. So watch Shepard up here with this safety, I guess it is, who hits Shepard before anything even happens, and we could probably see it from this angle even better. So they run the play action to the left. Sterling Shepard, I mean, right about here, I would like him to make this throw. You know what I mean? Like, I understand there's a defender here who has his eyes on him. This defender's trailing. It's basically a one-on-one at this point. And Shepard has the position. I mean, he has the leverage because he's in front of him. I understand he can jump in front of this, but it's hard to get a pick 6 on a play like this if you're this defender. I just don't get it. Throw the ball, see what happens. Maybe you get a pass interference. Maybe Sterling Shepard makes a nice catch and you're down at the 1, or maybe you even get a touchdown. But to take a sack on 4th and 1 was not worth it in my mind, and I just hated seeing that. And it's just very over conservative, and you have to throw the ball, especially on 4th down. Remember last year how we had that really bad safety who took really bad angles to the ball? Look what Antoine Bethea does on this play. I mean, this just had Curtis Riley written all over it. Takes a bad angle to this, and I mean, Riley should have been in position to make this tackle. I mean, the catch was going to be made anyway, but still, I mean, he gained like an extra 10 yards or 15 yards because Bethea took a terrible angle to this. So you watch him there, and for some reason just goes behind him and he didn't even get in his running lane. He picked up more than 10 yards. Jeez, I didn't realize how much of a big play this was. It was like 40 extra yards. And I mean, if you're Bethea, I mean, come on, you got to do better than this. I understand, like, you're in a position that if the ball's overthrown, you can get an interception, but like, he makes the catch here. And obviously his momentum's going to take him this way, right, to the middle of the field. Why is he coming in this way? I mean, you have to kind of switch your direction and go up here more and kind of stop him around like the 35-yard line, but he takes a bad angle and is already beat, and I was not impressed with what I saw from Antoine Bethea. I wasn't impressed in the preseason either. I mean, I was saying to myself, I hope he's just like dogging it because it's the preseason and who cares, but maybe the guy's just not good anymore. I mean, he's very seasoned. He's 35 years old, obviously, and if he's taking angles like this year, you might as well play his backup. I mean, let me see Sean Chandler, let me see Julian Love, because plays like this are not going to help us this year. So this was the Zeke Elliott touchdown. I believe this is the Cowboys putting up their 34th point in the game up right here. And there's a lot to go over. So, I mean, you watch first, Tay Davis picks the wrong gap to go into. Basically, him and Alec Ogletree, who's pointing right here, go into the same gap, and Zeke Elliott avoids both of them. And then watch Jabril Peppers as well. He doesn't even see the wide receiver coming over for the block. He lays a nice block down. We'll see Jabril Peppers. Receiver knocks him out of the play. Ogletree's too late getting over there. Scores a touchdown. But, like, my thing is, like, if you're Tay Davis, I mean, you should understand that Alec Ogletree's probably going to get this middle gap here. You have to be over here, and obviously B.J. Hill was taken out of the play. Lorenzo Carter was taken out of the play. Jabril Peppers was taken out of the play. There's a lot of crappy defense being played right here, and unfortunately Zeke finds the hole. He's a good running back, and Janoris Jenkins did not have much interest in making that tackle there, making a business decision, and I don't blame him. It is what it is, and, you know, there's just a bad play by many guys on that defense right there. Here's another play where I feel it's acceptable to blame Eli Manning here. So, I mean, the Giants are basically playing from very behind at this point, playing against the prevent defense for Dallas, so they're allowed to get the short routes here. And we're going to see Evan Engram. I mean, I'm just going to ask you guys a simple question here. So, if you're Eli Manning right about here, would you rather throw lateral, right, and just pick up half a yard maybe, or would you rather throw 5 to 6 yards down the field to an open Evan Engram who would easily pick up a first down? Actually, no, the first down's all the way down here. I don't even know what the hell down it is, but still, why would you throw it to Saquon Barkley right here? You're down by, I think at this point they were down 35 to 10 or something like that. Why would you do it? Like, hit Evan Engram over the middle here, pick up some positive yardage, and to make it worse, it was a bad throw, way too far out in front of him. Could have been a fumble possibly if it was behind him, and it's an incomplete pass. I mean, if you're Eli Manning, why can't you throw the ball to Evan Engram over the middle here? I mean, I don't get it. Like, why are you always so obsessed with throwing to Saquon Barkley? You had Evan Engram. maybe Ingram makes a play happen. He's a very athletic tight end, obviously. Maybe he makes the catch, makes one guy miss here, maybe this guy blocks here, maybe somehow picks up a first down. I don't know. But to have Barkley on a swing pass here, you're asking him to do way too much, and it wasn't even a completed pass. So just a terrible look there. Please hit the guy for a positive gain next time. So Ryan Conley, who did miss a sack earlier, makes a really nice play here. The Cowboys lose 3 yards on this play. Watch Ryan Conley right here. Just blows up this entire play, finds the gap, makes a great tackle on Tony Pollard, I believe that is, hits his feet. And that's just a great play. If we see more of that from him, then he might be a starter by the end of the season, because honestly, I was not impressed by Tay Davis or Alec Ogletree. I think the Giants won't bench Ogletree based off how much money he makes, but Tay Davis could get benched for Ryan Conley at some point this year. I'm not sure how Conley is as a pass defender, but if he's making plays like this in the run game, he very well may be a starter by the end of the season. So this was it for the plays I went over. I mean, this was pretty much garbage time after this anyway. We're basically in garbage time already. So a lot of ugly stuff. I mean, there were a few positive plays, but mostly negative. The defense has a lot of questions to answer next week, so hopefully they look better against Buffalo. I appreciate you guys watching this all the way to the end, and I'll talk to you guys next time.